What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Set. His name is Ulysses. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Thor, casting Dwarven Goldmine at the start of the game, not chopping wood down at the start of the game, making every mistake in the book. His name is Rapl. Alrighty then. So, we've got Thor versus Set. Now, Set on High Hunt is scary for Norse. Set has got a lot of options here. And we are seeing him already getting those early baboons out. Going to be scouting around. If I were... Actually, he doesn't need to. He's got a very close giraffe here, so we can just walk over here and eat all of these. So what is optimal here for our Set player is going to be trying to find where your opponent's zebra are. If you can get in and steal some of these, that is absolute dream. Steal some of the zebra or steal some of the giraffe of your opponent, but it's not that necessary. We are seeing him just going to happily grab some baboons. They're going to be able to defend the priest, live the dream, and continue here as it is. And we can see, look at this this villager here chopping this wood down with no ox cart. What's going on? Maybe you could have chopped that down at the very start of the game, hey? Did we get ourselves pig sticker? Yep, we did. So that there are plenty of builds in which you can do hunting dogs, pig sticker, and they all are very strong, and they all manage to get yourself this savannah tree, get enough wood in the archaic age so you don't have to worry about chopping wood down, and then you just live the dream. You might think it's not that important, it's not that big of a difference, but you come out with so many more resources and such a more hyper-accelerated hyper-accelerated classical age in the simple act of just getting going. It's just really good. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see how this is going to go. We do see the hyena getting sniped there as the villagers have all found their way over onto this giraffe here. And that's great there for Rapl. Ulysses over here on this food. So now Ulysses sees all of these giraffe, and we'll see what his reaction is here. No monument just yet, so I would be surprised to see Anubis here, though he might throw the monument up a little bit later. But yeah, no monument. He does get the temple up nice and early, 430 advance. You can do 430 advances with 2 monuments, as we have discussed in depth. Sometimes you want to not get the monuments though, and but very rarely. And we are seeing also you don't need to put multiple villages onto the temple. Anyways, it is looking like what Ulysses here is going to try is a second town center grab. We do have walls already up. Rapl is obviously very scared here of Anubites, but he is playing Thor. Unlike Odin, which he is used to, Thor has Forseti. Now, Forseti, you can get out a whole bunch of Hersa, and you can defend those Anubites a lot easier with Hall of Thanes, but even so, they're still not quite fast enough to truly deny them. So the best option is really the same as Odin. You really don't want to do all too much. If you see Anubis, you get your walls up, you get your town center, you live the dream. But that's not happening, obviously, just yet. And he's getting his walls up slowly, but we'll see how it's all going to go. Ulysses, on the other hand, he's just going nice and stock standard. Oh, are we going to be seeing an attempted push in here from Ulysses? There is some very naughty shifting sands, early shifting sands shenanigans you can do with Set. It's obviously a lot better on extended edition because you can steal villages. But what Rapl is going to be afraid of here is essentially just losing all of his infantry in this game. As you see a longhouse over here, Rappel's going to have a sigh of relief, seeing Tar not having to deal with those pesky Anubites. But it doesn't mean he's out of the woods just yet, as all these priests are moving in, going to start putting some hyper pressure onto Rapl, and he's way out in the middle of the map right now. And he's making more Herser. You stop making Herser when you see Tar, probably. Maybe not. Maybe you need the Herser to deal with that Ancestors and feel safe about that one. And also those baboons as well. If you actually look at how much damage these do against set animals, it's plus 200%. So they are doing like 16 damage a shot. So they're going to be able to two-hit the baboons. So we see some more units coming in. Call that healing spring out in the middle of nowhere. And guess what? He can move in. He can shifting sands all of these units into the main base and then pick off these villages here. Absolutely beautiful. The Thor is going to be using the big sticker thing, whatever it is, to do that. And we see the units all getting pulled back into the base. And I think Ulysses didn't want to bring his... I don't think Ulysses wanted to bring his... Priest and Pharaoh back there, but he does manage to body block all these units. That's a huge early game victory there for Ulysses in this matchup. The armory is not going to get denied there, and Ulysses has got to be super happy about that one. Rapl losing out a lot in that early game there. He's dropped down to 36 population. Ulysses is 38 population, and it's going to be town center time for Ulysses. Beautiful play there. We'll see how it's going to work. And beyond this, there's still a Herser here to build buildings and all the other good stuff that comes from that. Rapl gets to stay on this giraffe. And honestly, even after all of that, I do think that Thor is still fine here. I think that's that usage of shifting sands is like maybe a half value shifting sands. What would have been much better is if he had left his Priest Pharaoh on this location, shifting sands all of those units into his base, into a box, and then being able to punish the hunting villagers here. That would have been full abuse, but obviously not happening here in this game. We've got the two town centers up for Ulysses now. He's going to chuck up another granary to try and eat these giraffe here. And continuing along as if nothing happened. More houses up. Ulysses does have himself one monument now. I like to see, I do think that it is super important for Set and Ra as well, but Ra players do it, but for Set to get himself two monuments. It gives him options to make hunt, but more importantly, it gives him options to get his upgrades, his Horus upgrades, or his Thoth upgrades, or his Nephthys upgrades. All of those things are very, very important. We are seeing the raids coming through for Rapl. He's a little bit angry about how many units he lost, but he's got to realize he's against Egyptian, raiding the Egyptian, very, very tough. We will be seeing him picking off a watchtower, getting himself a little bit of favor. He's very smart to do this. He needs to get that favor in for things like Hillfort and everything else. There's a second town center coming up for Rapl. And there is a slight problem here in this game for Rapl in that the town centers are relatively close, but it's not Set. It's not Ra, it's not Isis. So there's no access to Hathor. So those mercenary are less of a threat than you would think. So he's throwing up another granary here. Yeah, the granary shoots up, but you know, the villagers probably should have husbandry, and they do. And they would actually, funnily enough, this granary here is completely pointless because he's going to have to pull back elsewhere anyways, and he could just run them back to the town center and live the dream there if he wanted to without that granary. But you know, it is what it is. They'll all drop off into it, and it's fine. And what's Ulysses doing behind this? I see no barracks. I just see two town center, fast heroic here from Ulysses. How many resources does he have? Enough to advance. Yes, he does. Barracks going down. Nephthys on the way. We see the priests retreating back. The Wadjet just going to sit here and start spitting at these raiding cavalry, as they will not be able to pick off a priest there, as the Wadjet's now the target of the units. I'm probably going to be seeing nice micro from Rapl dodging those priest projectiles, but he does lose a lot of HP and does end up getting out of there. So where to now for Rapl is the question. He's going up through Skadi. Okay, so he's going to get to Skadi roughly when Nephthys comes out. But this is very scary because he's got no upgrades. He's going to try and secure this town center. I would throw up double hill fort here and before this town center. Very important. Or if you want to be aggressive, double hill fort here and try and make yourself Jarl or Huskal. Jarl and Huskal even. But we are seeing Spearmen coming through for Ulysses, so maybe even need to make some throwing axemen here as well. But Rapl does have a lot of wood in the bank. Obviously, he's got this food still, and he's going to be running out of that. He's going to have to start farming, so it's all good. And also wants to spam up those buildings here. And you can see that even with all of the early game damage that Ulysses has done here in this matchup, he's not really in front on the score. So was the shifting sands super worth it or not? Maybe playing a more economic build with less spammage of the priest. These priests will come in handy against frost giants, so it's not like they're completely useless. We'll see how it's all going to go as the Scorpion Man here going to get some pickoffs. Rapl throwing away his units a little bit. Trying to get out of here, doing his best. More villagers coming over here. Still no, where's that heroic age for Rapl? He looks like he wants to throw up a hill fort on this gold mine, which I think I like that better than my suggestion in hindsight, because he needs to secure a gold mine. The walls are coming up to secure the town center. That's fine. Double hill fort though. You have to double hill fort. One hill fort is not enough. Now I've participated in small discussions about what is it worth it to get levy in your hill fort, this 300 food upgrade. And I think the answer is simply no, because you just build a second hill fort. Just get your second hill fort and live the dream. You just have to. You just don't even build any units out of it yet. Just straight away. You do see the raiding cavalry coming in here. We'll be able to snipe down a couple of these chariot archers nicely here. Good play here from Rapl as the chariot archers retreating away. Smack, smack, smack. Dead chariot archer. The frost giants making their way over here to try and freeze these chariots. Does get one of them there. Nice play, and he will be able to clean up the other one. This is the weakness of Egyptian, especially the Isis and Set Egyptian, going for raids with their chariot archers. 5.0 speed is not enough to really raid with chariot archers against Norse, who's got 6.0 speed. Medium raiders. Nice play from Rapl there to snipe all those off. And now suddenly it's seemingly like all of the early game trades have kind of equalized here, and Rapl's in a very, very advantageous position. However, just one hill fort means that there is going to be some difficulties to overcome in this game. And now Rapl is seeing a bit of an opportunity here to push, though I don't think he's going to be able to stop this town center from going up. He's trying to, but it looks like the Pharaoh is just going to continue, and this is definitely not a fight you want to be taking here as a Norse player. Definitely want to be pulling back, but he's still not doing it. Town center just about to come up here. Pharaoh gets pulled off. Those frost giants are falling. Villagers over here getting built. He's got Ulysses has got a bit of an issue for himself coming up. Does he have himself Shadoof? He does have Shadoof, so he can start farming, but he is now having to move on to a second gold mine here. And while there was a timing there for Rapl to get a gold star, he decided to take a fight here instead of trying to focus over onto this and maybe trying to go after the Migdol stronghold. You see have all these villagers making their way up onto the zebra up here to eat all of this as quickly as they possibly can. And Rapl might be considering getting his own a third town center, or maybe better yet, going Mythic Age. An early tier here could be absolutely huge. But after throwing away all those units, I'm not sure what he can. I mean, I don't know what he can do. If Ulysses can get his economy into order and he can just play super hyper defensive, we'll see how it goes. Town center is going to be coming up for Rapl though, so he's playing a more economic approach. No armor upgrades coming out just yet. Going to try. There might be Ragnarok here, to be honest. Ragnarok wouldn't be that bad of an idea, as the chariot archers moving in here going to be hitting these villages. The gatherer is getting pushed back. Going to jump into the sentry tower. Oh, he's going to lose one. No, he doesn't. So we see the raiding cavalry looking for some sort of action here. But, you know, what can he see? He sees where the resources are. Where is he going with these raiding cavalry? I think, I mean, he might try and be raiding some of the wood, but I think when you go for these raids, having some sort of idea about where to send your raiding cavalry is super important. Otherwise, just defend the chariot archers. Picking off these is going to give him a lot of value. But this is a little bit of the Thor struggle in that you just don't have the map scouted. It can be really tough. Distracting these spearmen is good, but fighting these spearmen is obviously bad, as he does finally see this gold mine being grabbed here. And over here we see the army of Ulysses starting to push in. Imagine 2 hill forts here right now. And then there will be no threat here, but now it's only one as Rapl has to defend. He does have 132 of 145 population over here. These chariot archers have distracted a lot of Rapl's population. We do have no axemen actually out yet for Ulysses. So in this situation, Rapl's army is stronger. It's just that there's a Scorpion Man here and no Frost Giants. So the Scorpion Man is going to town on Rapl's economy as the Spearmen coming through. We do have a Jarl out, so Jarl's going to be able to deal with the Scorpion Man just a little bit as another one comes in to deal with this. And these units are still moving in. We see a big Ancestors here. The weakness of Frost against Ancestors is that you don't really want to use Frost on the Ancestors. You want to use Frost on the army, as we see an attempt here of Rapl to retreat back and get a big Frost on everything. There he goes with his Frost, hits nearly all of the units, leaves the siege tower alive to take that down. There are still more units coming in here. Rapl with very little gold in the bank. However, his economic upgrades, no shaft mine, but he does have pickaxe, so it's okay. And it is Thor dwarves. Not that Thor dwarves gather faster than anyone else, but they are cheaper, so if he wants to build them, he's saving a little bit. We see the Scorpion Man retreating back here. All's coming up over here for Rapl. Ooh, we see Ulysses with a cheeky Scorpion Man raid onto this gold mine. This is going to be absolutely huge because there's no way for him to defend this. He needs to send the Jarls over there. Basically, he is doing that. He's sending them over there a bit slow. 4.8 speed. No Thundering Hooves upgrade available for them. So they'll make their way over here. The Chariot Archers getting pushed back by the Cavalry of Rapl. I love the Cavalry of Huskarl builds here at this point. As we are seeing these Scorpion Men, they simply will retreat away and cause a lot of issues for Rapl's economy here. But at this point, Rapl's held everything. He's in a decent position. The ox cart was unfortunately picked off. So we'll see what Rapl's going to do where that's concerned. Do we have ourselves Winter Harvest? Yes, we do. We've got Plow as well. Absolutely huge. Winter Harvest, only 200 food, so increases your food gather rate by a ton. And Rapl's actually got 35 villages on food. So I'm confused as to what he's going to be actually trying to build here with that many villages on food. So we'll see how that goes. We see that siege tower almost able to take the hill fort down. Only one hill fort. Going to go down. Not good. So Ulysses is just going to continue pushing in. What is he doing? He's got a market coming up in the corner. No real attempt at expanding on the map. He's already cut off this bottom side of the map for himself, or walled off, I should say. As the hill fort goes down, army going to be moving forward here. Villagers doing their thing as well. Target coming up again for Ulysses as the Scorpion Man wandering around over here doing its thing. And the villagers get back into the base for Rapl. He's actually pushed back into the corner. And now Ulysses can turn his attention over here. And Rapl, is he going to go Balder? He is going Balder. Okay, big Balder incoming. Let's take a look at the map and see if this can work. This gold mine's going to be expired. This gold mine with nothing on it. This gold mine with nothing on it. Ulysses with no upgrades for his units. Rapl here. How are Rapl's units looking? If I can just find a stray unit here. He does have bronze shield, so he could start building some more. He's got himself starting the ox caravans to make sure he gets some sort of or something here. Some sort of resource renewal as the game goes on. But Rapl just throwing units away, losing units everywhere here, not able to reproduce his units at all as he's just getting attacked everywhere on the map. I feel like Rapl may be slightly giving up. Generally, you just see the villagers get garrisoned here and run when you're going Balder because you just know that you can push back when you hit that. Do we have the temple? The temple was taken down as well. Villagers are over on this side gold mine here as well, as the siege towers have all found their way onto this town center. Rapl still has a lot of villagers, but losing this town center is going to be huge. Very little gold in the bank. He stopped production of those ox caravans as well. Dearie me. This is going to be a weak Ragnarok. We'll see if he's going to actually even... Sometimes we see people just click Ragnarok and then click resign. But Rapl's not like that. He's going to see if he can make it work. Losing a couple of villages there. And we will be seeing this town center indeed go down. But the heroes of Ragnarok are incoming and really use it straight away. Is he going to wait? I think he obviously wants to get as many units out as possible. We see the chariot archers coming over here, getting denied by Rapl. Nice play. The temple coming up for Rapl, just that little bit too late, making some fire giants out, trying to make sure he gets up to as many resources as he possibly can. Losing houses though. Ulysses here now, he's getting himself a medium axeman. Does he have masons incoming as well? He'll start thinking about getting architects. He's getting himself a 4th town center here. No towers up just yet, but he can just launch buildings everywhere. And Rapl is going to be attempting to utilize the fire giant, but he's at full population now. He's at full population. He can't even get one fire giant. I was going to say he's going to try and use the fire giant. There he goes with that one fire giant. I was going to say he was going to try and use the fire giant to deal with the axeman to allow everything to happen here. 294 population rag here at 19 minutes and 33 seconds into the game. Ulysses, 4 town centers, spamming out axemen very shortly. I am sure the siege towers might even think about trying to come down here and take down these markets with Rapl. And now Rapl will have to push forward immediately over here. We see towers coming up. Fortified town centers, masons is in. Ulysses does not have himself the architects just yet. So we'll see how it's going to go. Armory upgrades, still no armory upgrades. And we see Rapl splitting his Heroes of Ragnarok nicely up. However, there are a whole bunch of axemen here. We do see heavy axemen coming through as well for Ulysses. As over here, these cavalry are getting dealt with as well. $1 up. Villagers coming in here to chuck the towers up. And it's looking like he will kill the town center, but kind of at what cost? Rapl here still, how's his trade going? He's got a pretty decent trade route, to be honest. Does he have coinage? Yes, he does. So he will get those that gold in for this town center pretty quickly. This town center will definitely go down. And we do see an attempt at a wall off here from the trade route. How much gold does Ulysses actually have? 356. So there is a very real world here where Ulysses is going to fall to this Ragnarok if he loses this gold mine, which he very much will. To Rapl pushing in. Rapl still got 179 population here. And he... Oh, get the town center. Just one unit. That's all I need. Siege Tower's cleaning up houses and everything. I love that play from Ulysses. It's one of those little plays that the veterans do against Ragnarok because they know that too much is going on and you can oftentimes just forget about it. They're losing a lot of buildings and everything else here. Going to hurt a lot. Villagers getting pushed off of that gold mine. And what is Ulysses doing here? He's got no resources in the bank. He's still just trying to make those axemen out to deal with the Heroes of Ragnarok. Rapl dropped down to 110 of 110 population. He does have villagers queued up. He needs to build houses here somewhere because he's lost a whole bunch. He's making himself those fire giant. As you see, the siege tower has been dealt with. House is coming up now. And the walls are up to try and deny this trade route, but the trade's still sneaking around the bottom of the map here. So Heroes of Ragnarok coming in to chuck these walls up, doing their darndest. And you see the army here, Rapl, retreating back. Heroes of Ragnarok spot this gold mine, and they're like, oh no, he's got another gold up there. But Ulysses probably back up to full population now. Yes, he is. Still 2 town centers. He's going to consider getting his town center back now. And now, essentially, Rapl has to get his economy into gear here. No trade just yet. He could buy food as an option and then start that trade route, get everything back onto food, and try and get back into this game. Unfortunately, I don't think he really dealt the damage to the economy that he would have liked to have done here. We see the raiding cavalry coming in to try and deny that town center. We do see him denying the trade route in the corner, but there's probably just going to be a marker get thrown up over here pretty soon, or into this corner. We see the fire giant going after those chariot archers, but he's good against the chariot archers, but not with the priest here. The priest doesn't have funeral rites though, so he survives for quite a long time. Rapl 12 villagers on 13 villagers currently. He needs to start his villager production on all of his farms. His farms probably have irrigation now. They do have irrigation and winter harvest, so they are gathering very, very quickly. And how we see a stray Migdol in this corner here to try and hold on to this location. Town center now finally coming up for Ulysses as we see the chariot archers coming in to hit the trade route of Rapl. There's a fire giant here that can come over and help out, but this is a very smart raid from Ulysses, realizing that what is coming for him is a very, very big boom. A lot of gold lost here. The heroes of Ragnarok are going to come in to try and clean this up, but that's going to hurt Rapl a ton. He's got to be kicking himself to not have walled this off completely here. Over here, over here, over here. But we'll be able to deal with it and continue in this game for just a little bit longer. But Ulysses definitely with the advantage here. He still has a Mythic Age spike here. Power spike can go Meteor, can go Tornado, hit this location or hit this location. Doesn't really matter. Still seeing him go after the Ox Caravans. And the Fire Giant getting pushed back. As those priests hanging in there, doing their thing. Do we see Ulysses? He's getting himself Spirit of Mart now because he realizes that the Fire Giant follow-up is well and truly on its way here. We've got 4 Fire Giant. No way, or 5 Fire Giant. He does have a healing spring here. I know it takes a while for them to heal. How much does this heal a second? 3 HP a second. Anyone up for a small buff to healing spring? I think I would prefer a healing spring that would only heal 1 unit at a time, but heal it faster than a healing spring that heals that slow. Or you could change it so that as you advance through the ages, it increases HP per second. So it's not very good in the... So it doesn't kind of break Loki in the... or anyone else in the classical age. Now you see there is a Ragnarok swinging around the bottom side of the map. Going to look for some villager kills. Rapl's 125 or 160 population here. 31 villagers on food. Ooh, big possibilities here for these Fire Giant onto these Axemen. Can we do it? Turn. There is a fairy here. There we go. Big. Boom, boom, boom. Love to see it. Any sort of AoE damage here in Age of Mythology is fun because it's so... It's not common. That's why it's good. You go into into a game like Age of Empires 2, where you have the Mangonel, which can just delete the balls of archers. It's kind of hype, but it's not like crazy hype. Whereas you see like a Fire Giant or a Chimera, a pair of Chimera picking off a whole bunch of villagers or a whole bunch of Axemen, you're just like, orgasm moment. That's my story. That's my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. Alrighty. And now we see it again. Ulysses hitting this trade route that Rapl hasn't walled off. No, Rapl. But he has got himself his economy back. His economy is in a decent position now. 32 villagers on food, 20 on wood. Probably actually more than enough. Just needs to get his armory upgrades. He's still got 3 towns on his, but the problem is he's boxed in. And he's doing a very smart thing here, building a hill fort on the front. Going to actually have access potentially to those Balder Rams to go after this town center as an option here. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. We see the chariot archers swinging back here. Still trying to pick off these trade caravans. Managed to pick off a whole bunch of them. And now Ulysses is in turn setting up towers to try and push in onto this position as Rapl throws up another hill fort here. You see the Axemen coming in. They're going to be too little too late as the hill fort will be up. Horus does... Oh no, Horus comes through. That was the timing we were talking about. Or not timing, just the power spike, the Mythic Age power spike. Tornado can come in and hit this. We do not have Masons. We do have fortified town centers. And the Tornado drops down. We'll delete the hill fort. Probably will hit off that fortified town center as well. As it's very, very sad. And even hits the Fire Giant. Dead Fire Giant to the Tornado. Oh, and those priests deal so much damage now because they probably have funeral rites. Yes, they do. Town center goes down. Rapl loses a whole bunch of villagers. He's still trying to go in. Or he's going to go for Ballaster here, it seems. But without that Town Center, everything is sort of lost in this game. Rapl taps out. Ulysses gets the dub. Very, very nice play. Beautiful early game to take out all those villages. I think Rapl made a bit of a mistake by pushing in too much, throwing away too many units in the mid game without really having any solid plan of where they were going. If he held off on losing so many units, maybe focus more on a more tangible unit kills like stray chariot archers that Ulysses was trying to kill, trying to raid with, or go for more units, then the economy of the set player that's very hard to attack. Probably would have found himself in a bit of a better position here, because I don't think the game was lost after that early game. I feel like Rapl still had good chances, and he definitely did. He almost got it with did a lot of damage with his rag, and the timing was just maybe a little bit off there for him, but doesn't get the dub. Ulysses does. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.